I would like to welcome the audience to the December 12th, 2023 Parish Planning and Zoning Board meeting. Would you all please stand while Mr. LaSalle Williams says the invocation and pledge of allegiance?
Dear God, again, we thank thee for allowing us another blessed day. Thank you for our sins and our shortcomings and make us fit to serve. Lord, that you have allowed us to see another Thanksgiving. We look forward to seeing your birthday. Because it was you. Pray for this board and ask a blessing upon the staff. Bless those who have come today, tonight, asking for Spirit to lead and guide us that we might do that which is right. Let us not forget our young people, our children in schools and all over this parish. Protect them from the evil that's out there trying to destroy our education. Amen.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Stephanie, would you please call the roll?
Chair Kirk Smith,
Here.
Vice Chair Julia Dickerson,
Here.
Ms. Latricia Cobb,
Here.
Mr. Keith DeBrock,
Here.
Ms. Sharon Galicia,
Here.
Ms. Janelle Hyatt, Mr. Art Little,
Here.
Mr. Jake Porsche,
Here.
Mr. LaSalle Williams, Ms. Dion Winey,
Here.
This is an 11-member board. It will take a majority of those members present to grant or deny any request heard tonight. The chair will refrain from voting unless that vote might affect the outcome. The meeting will be conducted with me reading the requests from the agenda. The planning staff will give a presentation and report their recommendations. If the applicant would like to add to the staff's presentation, or if someone from the audience has comments, please come to the microphone and state your name, address, and the nature of your request. All persons wishing to speak other than the applicants will need to fill out a blue request to appear form located in the back of this room. The form must be given to a staff member prior to the reading of the agenda item. As required by this board's bylaws, in all cases, the proponents will be limited to 10 minutes. Opponents will be granted 10 minutes as well, with each speaker allowed no more than 3 minutes. I recommend that a spokesperson be selected if there's a large group wanting to speak on the same agenda item. If 4 or more speaker request forms are submitted, the time allowed for individual speakers will be limited based upon the number of forms submitted. The chair has the right to limit speakers who present redundant information or personal attacks. In unique situations, the chair may extend or the board may vote to extend the time allotted for speakers. After discussion, the board will vote on each request. I will announce the decision of the board after the vote. The exceptions are final tonight. The rezoning cases will go before the police jury for final action on Thursday, December 14th, 2023. This meeting is being filmed by the Calcasieu Parish Government Channel and can be viewed on Wednesday and Thursday following the meeting. For additional run dates, check the website at www.calcasieu.gov, Channel 5 in Lake Charles, Sulphur, Moss Bluff, Westlake, Vinton, DeQuincy, and Gillis, Channel 99 in Carlos and Grand Lake. Please either turn off or silence all electronic devices. Take appropriate action to approve the minutes of the November 14th, 2023 Planning and Zoning meeting. I will entertain a motion to approve the minutes. Motion by Ms. Dickerson, second by Ms. Hyatt. All those in favor of approval of the minutes, state aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? There being none, that motion carries. Exceptions, item 6A, take appropriate action on the following application, 5740 California Trail in Ward 3, exception to obtain a federal firearm license for an internet sales and service-based business. Applicant David Booth Edux, this is case EX-1123-0187. I will entertain a motion for approval with conditions.
So move.
Motion
Second.
by Mr. Dubrock, second by Ms. Winey. Ms. Tunn.
This property is in Lake Charles at 5740 California Trail. Mr. Booth rents the home to Mr. Rougeau, who intends to obtain a federal firearms license for an internet sales and service-based business. The business will be conducted within the confines of the home, which is located within a single-family residential zoning. Because minimal impacts are to be expected, the staff recommends the request be granted with the condition that the development adhere to the site plan on file with the Division of Planning and Development, provided that the director or designee may authorize adjustments to the site plan in light of technical or engineering considerations discovered during development.
Thank you, Ms. Tunn. We have no blue cards in opposition. Does the applicant have anything they would like to add to this presentation? Any questions, comments by the board members regarding this agenda item? There being none, all those in favor state aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? There being none, the motion carries. Item 6B, take appropriate action on the following applications. 1313 Stanley Road in Ward 3, exception to allow commercial development reception facility. The applicant is BJEP Properties LLC. This is case EX-1123-0188. I will entertain a motion for approval with the condition. Motion
Second.
by Ms. Cobb, second by Ms. Hyatt. Ms. Tunn.
Property is in the Lake Charles area and encompasses 6.37 acres of agricultural zone land. The applicant intends to convert the existing home into a reception facility. Once completed with the development, there will be a wedding and events venue with a capacity of approximately 275 people. The new ingress and egress to the proposed reception facility will be located off of Country Club Road, where there is ample on-site and off-site parking. Because minimal impacts are to be expected, the staff recommends the request be granted with the condition that the development adhere to the site plan on file with the Division of Planning and Development, provided that the director or designee may authorize adjustments to the site plan in light of technical or engineering considerations discovered during development.
Thank you, Ms. Tunn. Does the applicant have anything to add to this presentation? Okay. Any questions, concerns? Mr. Little?
A question for the staff in regards, I don't see anything in regards to screening, but I do see that there is trees and whatnot around this property. As long as they're there, that takes care of the screening issues.
Yes, sir, it should.
Thank you.
Any other questions? There being none, all those in favor state aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? There being none, the motion carries. Item 6C, take appropriate action on the following application. 711 Merbell Road in Ward 3, exception to allow residential development, manufactured home. The applicant is Troy Corns. This is case EX-1123-0189. I will entertain a motion for approval with conditions. Motion by Ms. Cobb, second by Ms. Hyatt. Ms. Tunn.
This property is also in Lake Charles area at 711 Merbell Road. The applicant intends to place a manufactured home on the property as a permanent dwelling for him and his son. The parish code requires an exception by the board to allow a manufactured home within a single-family residential zoning district. Because the proposed development is not consistent with the character of the area, the staff recommends the request be denied. Should the board grant the request, the staff recommends the following conditions: that the development adhere to the site plan on file with the Division of Planning and Development, provided that the director or designee may authorize adjustments to the site plan in light of technical or engineering considerations discovered during development, and that the manufactured home be skirted prior to utilities being connected.
Thank you, Ms. Tunn. Does the applicant have anything to add to this presentation? Okay. Any questions, comments?
Are there any other mobile homes around it?
That's what I want to know too.
Along Murvale Road, there are no other manufactured homes down that road. It's all zoned single-family residential. Oh, you may want to call the applicant to the podium.
Huh?
You may want to call the
Sir, you
applicant.
can, if you're the applicant, you will need to come to this microphone and speak if you're going to address the board.
My name is Troy Corns. I'm the applicant, 9289 Warren Stable Drive, Lake Charles, Louisiana. It do have two, I want to say, two houses down from where this one is. It was just put there.
Okay, well,
That's all I had to say.
okay.
Yeah.
Any questions for Mr. Corns before he sits down? Mr. Porsche?
Looking through the history, if there is a manufactured home 2 houses down, that would have had to been approved by an exception, correct?
I don't think we have a record of that. You know, we'd have to go out and investigate to see if they've placed a manufactured home on that property without benefit of permits. But to our knowledge, I don't think there is one. I mean, they've gotten a permit for one.
Right. It doesn't show that in the history of the zoning, so.
Thing is, if there was a manufactured home there before and they replaced a manufactured home, they may have been grandfathered in a non-conforming use. But as we drove this street, we have done aerial photography, we have not seen a manufactured home on this road. Now, like
Are you
Beth
referring
said,
to a
Oh,
we would have to-
modular home?
Nah, it's manufactured. Matter of fact, I drove by it last night. I didn't take any pictures or nothing, but.
And you say it's 2 doors or 2 lots?
2, maybe 3 past mines on the same side of the road.
Okay. Any other? Go ahead, Ms. White.
Oh,
No, I was going to probably say the same thing you were.
what, yeah, we may have the same question. So when were these pictures, the pictures that we're viewing, when were these pictures actually taken? If you're saying that they're like 2 doors down?
So these pictures are taken
Recent
approximately 2 to 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, so November the 27th is when
November I'm sorry,
they're stamped.
Stamped.
Excuse me. Now, the aerial photograph, that's yeah, those were flown in,
I
okay,
mean, last year, I'm sorry.
last year.
Last year,
okay, yeah.
2020.
22.
Yeah, 22.
So,
Oh,
so
sorry.
sometime between now or between January of 22 and today, I mean, that's, we're not aware of that.
Ms. Galicia?
I was just going to say, I'd hate to, vote no if there's one person that put it 2 days ago or just last week without a permit, and I'd hate to vote yes to put a new one in there if it, doesn't fit the area. So just kind of feel,
Well, I mean, if there's question about that, we're certainly, we can go back out there and investigate that to see. And if you want to defer action on this, you certainly can. That's an option for you to do that. But as far as at this point, we're not sure.
Okay.
Is that gonna create if we defer it till next month, is that gonna cause him some issues? Is that gonna?
It would cause a delay in me moving forward. Yes, it will. But before I
Yeah, I don't wanna vote no if there's another mobile home there that
Yeah.
might give us some kind of exception or something.
And before I bought the property, I did some research, and I was told I was able to. If I knew I was unable to, I never would have bought the property. I mean,
Was
so
there
I'd
a
be
house
out.
there before, or it was a mobile home? Do you have any idea?
I believe it was a home there, but I went to, I talked to the realtor, and she told me she had to do some research. She did research and she said that it's an unrestricted area, and I was able to place a mobile home there. And
Mr. Porsche?
As far as the grandfather clause, I know we've given exceptions to manufactured homes that have deteriorated, that are no longer in compliance, and they had to come to us to put a new mobile home in the place that an older mobile home was. Is that only for storm-related temporary? Because I know we've had that. I just was wondering the differentiation between those two events. What's grandfathered, what's not?
Well, there was an executive order by the police jury for after the hurricanes that
I remember
allowed,
that.
yeah, that allowed for the replacement of mobile home, you know, one for one.
Right.
And under the current ordinance, we have provisions under, you know, non-conforming structures that allows for if the structure has either been removed within a certain period of time, then that can be replaced
Okay.
with one.
Gotcha.
And I think that's what Ms. Tunn is saying, is that there is a possibility that there may have been one out there.
Mm-hmm.
It was removed unbeknownst to us, and then now we issued a permit, and then they were allowed to put one back on there. I'm just not aware of it.
Do we have any opposition? No. I'm agreeing with Ms. Galicia's line of thinking. If there is one that was allowed to be replaced and grandfathered in 2 houses down, that's set a precedent for me in my head that,
Well, I
and,
think,
and especially with no opposition from any of the neighbors.
well, I think too, we would have recognized that as
I
well,
would.
and we would have probably not made the recommendation like it
Sure,
is if
right.
there would have been something already there.
Right.
Then we could have, you know, we could have said, you know, this is a consistent pattern here. But based on what we have, the knowledge that we have,
Sure.
we didn't have any other or any knowledge of any manufactured homes on this particular street.
Just speaking to the board now, I mean, I would move to defer. I know the applicant is going to delay him, but
I agree
as
with
it
you.
stands on its face, I would vote no because
I agree.
it's out of compliance.
Right.
But if there's one there, I would vote yes. So I think it's to his benefit as well for us to defer.
What, 30 days?
Yeah, I would say
The
we
next
could
meeting.
determine that in the next 30 days.
Defer to the next
Yeah.
meeting.
Yes, sir.
Did you put a contingency in your contract that you could get this mobile home put on the property?
did I put one in my contract?
Did they put a contingency in your contract
Very good
that you would be able to put a mobile home on this property?
Oh, you mean when I bought the?
When you bought the property,
I'm not sure. I have to look at it.
because that could be saying that you bought this property with the understanding that you
Yes,
could put a
ma'am.
mobile home
I
in there.
understand.
But you
Yeah.
didn't know you had to come, so if she put a contingency in there that if you could get this rezoned for a mobile home, then you don't have to buy it, because,
Oh, I bought it already. That's the thing. And this is not a regular mobile home. It's actually a 2024, a new model. Actually, it won't depreciate the neighborhood. It look better than most of the houses there, to be honest. Well, just want to add that. So,
I would like to make a motion to defer for 30 days.
Motion to defer 30 days, Porsche.
Till next meeting.
Porsche, second by Ms. Winey. Okay, now that we have that motion on the table, all those in favor of the deferral, state aye. Aye. Any opposed? There being none, that motion carries. Defer for 30 days.
all right.
The staff will do their investigation and be sure to have that information for you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Okay, rezonings, item 7A, take appropriate action on the following application. 212 Cassie Lane in Ward 6, rezoned from mixed residential and agricultural to manufactured home park to allow a manufactured home park, 60 spaces, The applicant is Lance Braxton Edux. This is case RZ-1023-0256. I will entertain a motion for approval with conditions.
Move.
Motion by Mr. Williams, second by Ms. Hyatt. Ms. Tunn.
This property is in the North Sulphur area and encompasses 9 acres that is zoned mixed residential and agricultural. The applicant is requesting a rezoning to allow a 60-space manufactured home park. The manufactured home park will have private entrance with will be gated, along with streetlights throughout the development. Because the proposed development is consistent with the character of the area, the staff recommends the request be granted with the following conditions: that the development adhere to the site plan on file with the Division of Planning and Development, provided that the director or designee may authorize adjustments to the site plan in light of technical or engineering considerations discovered during development, that all exterior lighting must be oriented inward toward the development and the light source cannot be visible to the adjacent properties, and that a runoff management plan will be required unless appropriate waiver is granted by the Division of Engineering.
Thank you, Ms. Tunn. Does the applicant have anything to add to this presentation? Okay. Board has any questions or concerns regarding this item? Mr. Little?
Sure. I know this, according to what we're looking at, it's a wooded area that would be stripped. And with that being said, a buffer around that thing to protect the existing residents on to the northwest and to the south, is that something that we need to do anything with for a buffer on this, or he just leaves them trees?
Well, we haven't stipulated that, and I'm not sure if the applicant has plans to place a fence or anything around the property. You can certainly ask him. But I don't think in the ordinance that the land uses warrant putting in or require putting in, having to meet the screening requirements under the ordinance.
Okay, so it may not be, he can strip it down all the way to the property line with no issues.
There is not.
Okay.
Applicant have any issues with putting some fencing around where the neighbors are?
To,
Hello, I'm Lance Braxton, Mobile Home and Development. No, I
your
have no
address,
problem.
Mr. Braxton?
Sir?
Your address?
Oh, it's 212 Cassie Lane, South Louisiana, 70663. No, I don't have
You
any
live on
issue.
this property?
I have been living there for about 5 years.
But my concern is the existing residents, and you moving in 60 or 65 mobile homes, do you have an issue with trying to protect them with some kind of screening
Yes.
in those particular areas from them homes?
Yeah, we will do screening. Yeah, we will make sure that, they're safe, that they'll be around the other neighbors. Yeah, that's something that we took in consideration.
Because it's not in here, just for the record. So,
Okay, yeah, that's understandable. Yes.
I would suggest that you probably make a motion to stipulate that that be done, otherwise that we don't have any say-so.
motion,
Yes, sir.
all on,
And Mr. Little, Mr. Gabb was saying, under under the current ordinance, we do have a section in there that deals with screening. And you can make the motion for it to, abide by that requirement.
And that, yes, sir, that's what my motion would
And
be.
it
is to
allows
abide
some,
by that
it allows
screening
some
ordinance.
options, whether to put a board fence or hurricane
Station.
fence with slats, or even landscape.
Right. And that's what my motion would be, is to abide by the ordinance on screening.
okay, Mr. Little made a motion
Second.
to amend the original motion to include some type of screening.
Yeah,
In
section 2650.
in accordance with section 2650.
Good job.
Is there a second on
A
that?
second.
Second by Ms. Cobb. Now that we have that amended motion, We will vote on the amended motion. All those in favor of the motion as amended, state aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? There being none. Thank you.
Thank
Okay. Now we go back to any other questions before we go any further? Mr. Porcher.
Did we vote on the main motion? as
No.
Well, the way it was done, the chair included the added stipulation to the main motion.
Okay.
So I think we're good. The main motion as amended has passed.
Oh, we're done.
Actually, that ain't what I did, but we'll go with it.
So
I was gonna, voting that we all agreed on the amendment.
either way,
Then we would turn around and say, okay.
And then you,
So-
on the
So if
original
that
motion as
suffices
amended.
for the record,
the way you stated it, I think we're good. It's coming out of this body as a recommendation of the police jury to pass or allow the rezoning with the added stipulation of fencing.
we'll go with that. That's what we have. Thank you. Okay, item 7B, take appropriate action on the following application, 2300 Moundville Street in Ward 4, rezoned from single-family residential R1 to agricultural A1 to allow a commercial development reception facility. Applicant Kendall Broussard Edux, this is case RZ-1123-0258. I will entertain a motion for approval with conditions. Motion by Ms. Dickerson, second by Ms. Hyatt. Ms. Tunn.
This property is located in the Corliss area and encompasses approximately 40 acres of single-family residential zone land. Should the board grant the request, this case will come back before you in January as a zoning exception to allow a reception facility. The applicant is requesting to rezone the property to agricultural uses and intends to utilize the 4,000 square foot barn as a reception facility and event venue with indoor and outdoor options. The wedding and events venue will have approximately 120 people with ample on-site and off-site parking. Because minimal impacts are to be expected, the staff recommends the request be granted with the following conditions. That the development adhere to the site plan on file with the Division of Planning and Development, provided that the director or designee may authorize adjustments to the site plan in light of technical or engineering considerations discovered during development. That the reception facility ingress and egress be limited to Pete Road only, and that screening must be provided on Moundville Street where overflow parking area is located in accordance with Section 2650 of the Parish Code of Ordinances and as shown on the provided screening plan on file with the Division of Planning and Development.
Thank you, Ms. Tunn. Does the applicant have anything to add to this presentation? Okay, thanks, sir. Any questions or comments regarding this agenda item? Mr. Little?
Comments on the facility. I am familiar with it. I've been there to different activities at this facility. The Broussards built this with their home, and then their children got into athletics, and they needed some places to practice, so they, of course, he built his barn not necessarily for that, but he utilized it for that. They're very community-oriented and friendly, constantly using his facility now for the football team, the baseball teams, the softball teams, the dancers, the twisters, for their yearly banquets and whatnot, that they can come and use that facility. So they are, they've been very friendly to the area. Birthday parties, anniversary parties, people that can come in there, and if they have it available and they ask the right questions, they've been able to utilize it. So I think it'll be something good to maintain in the community of Corliss.
Okay. Any other
I agree with
questions?
you, Mr. Little. I've actually attended a Christmas there, and it was just beautiful. Yeah.
Okay. Any other comments? There being none, all those in favor state aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? There being none, the motion carries. Item 8, election of officers.
Different perspective up here.
She's trying to get on my bad side.
Excuse me, I'm a little bit under the weather, so you have to excuse me a little bit if I start to cough. But I do want to thank Kirk Smith, our chairman. You've done an excellent job this year. Your vice chair, Julia Dickerson. Yep. Vice Chair Julia Dickerson, thank you for what you've done. And I want to thank this board. Y'all have to make some really tough decisions, as you well know. And it affects the lives of this community. And we just appreciate your service. So on behalf of the police jury, we thank you. Appreciate it. So getting on to our business, I hope y'all thought about this. Do I have any nominations for chair? Do I have a nomination?
Julia Dickerson for the
Got a
position of
nomination
chair.
for Ms. Dickerson?
I second.
Got a second. Any other nominations? Any other nominations? Congratulations,
You're
Mr.
the
Chair.
Which seat?
Same seats, and then you can do the vice chair. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Kirk, I need the paper, I guess. I can do it off here.
All you gotta do is open the floor
Okay.
for nominations for vice chair.
Acceptance speech.
I would accept. Come on, Jake. Well, I just want to say thank you guys for believing in me that I'm able to do this, and I appreciate it. I'm excited about it. I'm looking forward to the 2024 year serving with you guys. And Kirk, thank you. You've been a great chairperson, and I appreciate working with you. And to the staff, I'm looking forward to working with you as well. Is that good? Okay.
Very good.
Okay, moving along. The next item on the agenda is to advise that the police jury took the following action. On
Want a
Nov-
vice chair?
We have a vice chair.
Oh, I'm sorry, I was gonna move on. Okay, so now we need recommendations for the vice chair.
There you
Do we
go.
have any nominations?
Nominate Sharon Galicia.
I
Okay,
second.
okay. Do we have any other nominations? Nope. Okay, so then Sharon
Ms.
Galicia.
Galicia.
All right.
Because it's effective.
Okay, yeah, okay, I'm so sorry, I see what you're saying. Yeah, yep, we got it.
Give him his chair back.
You got your chair back.
Momentarily.
Okay. Sorry, I was confused
Now that
just
we
for
got
a
that out
minute.
the way.
Yeah.
The next item on the agenda is to advise that the police jury took the following action on November 16th, 2023, with reference to the recommendation of the Planning and Zoning Board from the November 14th, 2023 meeting. Pentangeli Road Development LLC, Planning and Zoning recommended approval, police jury approved. Marshland Equipment Rentals LLC, Planning and Zoning recommended approval, police jury approved. Bell Family Irrevocable Trust, Planning and Zoning recommended to deny, police jury denied. Calcasieu Parish Police Jury Division of Planning and Development, Planning and Zoning recommended approval, police jury approved. At this time, I will relinquish the floor to Mr. Crane.
Thank you, Mr., well, I guess, Chair.
Will
you're-
be shortly. Former.
Former Chair. I guess y'all have noticed tonight that Miss Christie George is not here at our table here. She's sitting back in this back spot. But she is going to retire from the parish after, what, 26 years? 26 years she has worked for this parish. Yeah. And she has done a phenomenal job. She has been around and kept us all straight and you know, just been very helpful to this staff and I know to y'all as well. And very detailed person, and you got to have somebody like that and in that position. And I know Stephanie's going to fill that position well too. So we just appreciate her and wish her well in retirement. So I'll relinquish the floor for any comments to y'all.
Well done.
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
The only question I have is, Stephanie, are you going to give 26 years?
I'm a little older.
I'll try.
The next item on the agenda is to advise that the next regularly scheduled planning and zoning meeting will be held Tuesday, January 16th, 2024. Before adjourning, I'd just like to say, from chairing this board for 4 years, it has been a pleasure to work with all of you, and I can say y'all are truly a credit to your communities. Well done on all of y'all. It makes this job easy.
We want to thank you because you've been a great chair, and we really appreciate you.
Thank y'all. With that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Felicia, second by Ms. Winey. We are adjourned.
And Mayor,